Hi, welcome to an episode of Waste Management. We're here at the pool at North Campus, Miami-Dade College. The pool is used for many activities for the campus and the community as well.
Yes. Hi, I'm Noemi Zaharia. I'm the director of the Aquatic Fitness Center here at North Campus. Yes, our pool is used by our community through swimming classes that are offered through continuing education. But this pool mostly is for our students here and employees to be able to enjoy. Also, we have high school swim teams and water polo teams coming and training and having their competitions like districts, like GMACs. And then also we have School of Justice that is absolutely using our pool, most of the diving well for the platforms for their training.
Great. What we're here for today is actually swimming, learning how to swim.
Yes.
We already did a show earlier for getting a child used to the water, getting them acclimated, safety. Let's suppose you have an older child and the child has basic skills or even getting up to the skills where they can swim. Do you have experience swimming? I know it's a loaded question. Tell us about your background.
All right. Well, I'm on the athletic side. I'm a two-time Olympian, two-time Olympic medalist, silver and bronze in a 200 and 400 individual medley. Have 9 world records, NCAA, World Championships, Europeans, and everything that comes along with that. On the coaching side, I was the head swimming coach at Florida Atlantic University as associate head coach there, and I started a program at Florida International University, so I have over 20 years of coaching experience. I also coach little kids as a recreational team, development team, so the wide range. I had swimmers that I coached for the Olympic Games. I had 4 of them that I recruited and coached. 2 of them even made finals and an NCAA champion.
So you see she has a little experience, but you know, we'll make do, okay? Let's show us, okay, how do we get started? We have
Victor. We have Victor here who's going to help us demonstrate. And of course, like at any pool that it's not your backyard pool, we need to make sure that we have a lifeguard on duty at all times to watch out. So that's Kiani up there here, one of our lifeguards. So that's a very important thing. I think that's step number 1, to make sure that we have a safe environment in which we can practice our skills, okay?
Okay, so if I'm at my own pool, I should get a lifeguard?
Well, at your own pool, obviously you don't have such a big volume of pool. Probably it's not as deep. It's a lot more controlled environment. In any big pool, you need to have a lifeguard. And same goes for like pool parties. My best advice is invest in getting a lifeguard. Then gives you peace of mind. This way you have a dedicated person only to watch all children, everything. So you can have a good time, not worry about every child, because unfortunately, most of the children do not know how to swim.
Mm-hmm. So you should never leave the child. Well, question.
Anybody unattended. I don't
really
think,
adults
yes.
even?
Well, you have to remember not all adults know how to swim.
True.
So
okay.
in those moments, if you're comfortable, like right now we're in 3 feet of water. So anybody can put their feet down, you're good, right? Unless you're a baby or a toddler. But other than that, as soon as you go to deeper water, if you are not comfortable in the water, you're going to panic. So when you panic, you go underwater. You start breathing underwater, meaning you're swallowing water. And then you can drown. So those are the things that you have to consider. You know, when you have to be safe and you have to have somebody. So even I'm an experienced swimmer. I'll never go swimming alone. If I swim, I want to make sure that obviously I need to swim in a big pool, but I always make sure that we have a lifeguard on duty even when I'm swimming. And obviously I'm not going to be drowning. Okay,
great. So you brought up all these points.
Yes.
We now have a student.
Yes.
Let's show us some of these points. Show us actually how to get him to be a competent swimmer.
All right, so what we can do is like with the adults, same as kids, if they don't know how to swim, we can start like the basic things. Hold on to the wall and then they start kicking, right? To kind of get comfortable with the kick first.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. You start holding on, kick more in the water with your legs, nice straight legs. You're gonna keep holding on to that, gives that security of holding on to the wall and all that. Then slowly, once they got comfortable with that, have them blow bubbles. Just like we had with the little ones too. Same thing, get comfortable with water around your mouth, your nose, then slowly have them take a breath, put their nose in the water as well as they blow bubbles, and then even their face all the way through. And all this practice without goggles. You see he has goggles, but he has them on his forehead, because how many times, if you're falling in a pool or fall off a boat, you're not gonna have goggles on. And then from there, you start kind of the same steps as you do with a child. best thing to do is, I know we are in shallow water right now because we're filming, but I prefer to have adults in deep water so they can touch the bottom of the pool and learn from day one without touching the bottom. Because once they get comfortable here, you take them into deeper water, they're like, wait, I can't touch the bottom of the pool. And they panic, and then you have to pretty much start from scratch.
Okay, so we got him. We see he can kick well. He can kick to make old people happy like me, not splashing. And we see he's comfortable.
Now we can do a couple of things. He can actually, if he wants to, he can put his goggles on now if he feels more comfortable, if he can stay without. And then we're gonna have them do Superman. So puts one hand on top of the other. We're gonna have them push off from the wall and then just kick. Like this, okay? And then take a breath and blow bubbles again. Blow those bubbles. That's how you teach them how to swim. Kind of breathe a little bit in the water, okay? And
Can he do it without you?
And then after that, once we get comfortable with that, we have them just do alone on the way back, just like that.
Terrific. Okay, so we see he's good. We see he can kick. We see he can swim.
And then the same thing we're gonna do, just like we did with little ones, on their back. So kind of same thing. On your back, put your arms up. You're gonna put the belly button up. You're gonna teach them first to float. Again, the floating part, so important. You teach them to push the belly button up, relax. For more balance, you have them put your arms out, push the belly button up, try to get your toes out of the water. Okay, and after that, you're gonna have them do is, I'll hold their head, belly button up, I'm gonna do gentle kicks, gentle backstroke kick. Okay, relax your head, there you go, and we're gonna go, okay? And then once they get comfortable, turn around, you can go back, all right? Same thing. Good job. You can put your arms next to your body now or on top, and you teach them how to go, just to kind of get comfortable to get back to the wall, okay? So once we have these skills, we're gonna start moving on to swimming, okay? Same as we did with the little one before. We're gonna have them start moving their arms, and then same from going from that position, start moving their arms one arm at a time, and breathing again comes later, but start moving their arms and alternate. So one arm is up front, one arm is in the back, and then you just keep alternating arms. You switch arms, and you go about it, okay? If you wanna put your goggles on, that's fine, or you can go without.
So
okay.
Do I swim there?
You go out a little bit, and then you turn around. So he's doing right now what it's called a catch-up. It's more hands forward, and then you kind of alternate. Okay, Victor, like regular swimming now. One arm forward, one in the back. Regular swimming. And you teach them to be nice and long and stretch their strokes out. Because again, you want to be relaxed. The main thing is, if you can teach in swimming, the more relaxed you can be in the water, the better you're going to do. Because the tighter you are, the more you're going to cramp up, and the more you're going to start fighting the water instead of being what we call one with the water.
Okay.
Okay? So that's the freestyle. What we can do is really work with the backstroke as well. Kind of same idea. You want to do some of the backstroke?
Sure.
Okay?
With the hands too?
Hands too, yes.
Oh, I see he's done this before.
He's done this before, so he knows. He needs to put his head back, push the belly button up and kick. And just focus on nice straight arms as you go. Okay, come on back the same way. Don't forget to kick. There you go. And again, that's a great one, because if you get tired with freestyle, you just turn on your back. And again, you can breathe a lot more freer on your back. You can catch your breath and then go back again to the freestyle stroke. Okay? So that's the freestyle and the backstroke. Usually we teach these two first. They're the easier ones to learn. And if you want to get very technical, they're the long axle strokes that you teach them, because they'll kind of go against the... And then the next one you teach is breaststroke. It's the most complex, teaching-wise, technique-wise to teach. But a lot of people more like the frog. They call it the frog stroke. A lot of people, they're a lot more comfortable kind of like going in the water, even though they don't have the right technique.
You're mentioning the different types of strokes. What is the benefit of doing the frog, whatever, the different
freestyle, backstroke, and all that.
Yeah.
Well, the benefits are, one, obviously, if you want to go from the, like what it helps you is basically you work different muscle groups. So it's great to work. It's great exercise, and remember, it's good for anybody. And I know we're going to talk about more, maybe a little bit about benefits of swimming, but you can do it at any age. And you can have if you have arthritis, you know, you can pound, you can do a lot of exercise. So swimming, there's no impact So you're not pounding on your muscles, you're not pounding on your ligaments, your knees usually, or your hips or shoulders, and you're able to keep it up until your hundreds, really. So, they have a lot of great competition. And it's great exercise. You work your lungs, you work your liver, so everything functions. Your heart gets really good pumping. You get a lot of good oxygen happening. So this is something that is really beneficial, truly at any age.
And it's good for fat people. We float.
Well, that's more or less a myth a little bit too.
Darn.
But some people can float a little bit better. It's all about the relaxing. If you see some people being, yes, some people have, the bone structure. Some have lighter bones, some have heavier bones, so some have an easier time floating than others. But it really boils down to relaxing, okay? The more you can relax, if you see somebody who's a good swimmer, you see them super effortless, just like almost like floating on top of the water compared to somebody who's fighting it. And that's not a swimmer.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to do something.
Okay.
Miss Effortless Swimmer. Let's see.
All right, I'll be happy to do it.
We're assuming you should be effortless.
All right, I'll just grab my goggles really quick just so I can see where I'm going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do freestyle on the way down. I can do just there and back, kind of halfway and back freestyle, then I can do the backstroke to show up.
Terrific.
Okay?
Thank you. Okay.
That's what Victor did. All right.
Great. Okay. Okay, yeah, looks very relaxed. Okay. What, you're too tired? You couldn't make it all the way down? Show off.
So freestyle, as you can see, is just the idea of having your elbow out first, arms out, and you stretch nice and long.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll show you backstroke a little bit.
Question
Yes.
before you go on.
Okay.
When I see people swim differently, your arm going up and out of the water, enter the water. Do this, how?
Well, the keys in freestyle is you have to have your elbow come out of the water first, and then you just rotate around, and then the key is to stretch nice and long, okay?
And when you pull back?
When you pull back on the waters, it's a little more complicated technique, but you have to keep your wrist strong, and you're pulling from fingertip to your elbow with the whole arm. And then maybe on the next, if I understand correctly, in a little bit, I'll show you the backstroke techniques as well.
Okay, terrific. Okay, good. Should we continue with him, or? Okay, well, I guess we're going to stop for a little while then. Okay, we'll take a break now, then we'll come back and we'll actually do more different techniques, and we'll use him. Great. No, it's nice. I like the dichotomy here, seeing professional and a novice. It's really wonderful. Thank you very much. So we'll be back in a few minutes and look forward to seeing you. Enjoy the break.
Three, two.
Be focused. Be original. Be a trendsetter. Be an explorer. Be the solution. Be visionary. Be a hero. Be the answer. Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Fresh thinking is being served at Miami-Dade College. Create your own recipe for success in the evolution of food culture at the Miami Culinary Institute. Learn the skills you need to jumpstart your career in the culinary arts. Turn green into gourmet and celery into salary. Miami Culinary Institute. Food, culture, innovation. Visit us at miamidadeculinary.com. Register now. Miami Culinary Institute.
Welcome back to Waste Management.
Well, see, I have a helper here. Notice we take a break. She's happy. She's swimming. She hasn't stopped swimming all during the break. All she's been doing is going back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, so it's fun. So tell us about the stroke.
Well, that's the backstroke I was showing you that I had Victor demonstrate. The key here is again, relax, okay? So as I showed you, to start nice and flat, try to float. Again, we're going back to the whole floating thing that we taught earlier. You push your belly button up, you put your head back so both ears are in the water, chin up a little bit, like relaxing, like you take a nap in your bed, okay? And then watch my feet, how they're just very smoothly, straight legs almost, kicking. Your toes coming out of the water. And after that, you just have simply arm comes up, thumb comes up first. Halfway through you rotate, pinky goes in. And you just go around with the motion, okay?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you know when you approach the wall?
Well, if we're swimming at a proper pool, but here again is the shallow end, so we don't have anything. But you see the flags? That's what the flags are for, okay?
Ah, I wonder what they were there for.
They're out 5 meters. So this is the time you see. That's your signal that you're getting close to the wall. So swimmers actually count their strokes, and you know how many strokes you have until you get to the wall where you have to do your flip turn, whatever the turn you have to do, or you know the wall is coming to finish the race.
I have a question for you. I'm looking at the pool here, and I notice that you're swimming the short way, not the long way. Why?
Well, because this is a 25-yard pool, and the other length, it's not enough to be competition size. Olympic size pools are 50 meters, okay. And then it's metric, so you have 50 meters long and 23 and a half wide, which is 25 yards actually. So okay. This way, that's how you have it. But in this pool, the only official measurement that we have is the 25-yard pool, and that's where we hold our competitions. We're actually certified to hold competitions. Okay.
Okay. Let's get back to the different techniques that you were showing. So there's also a stroke. You said butterfly.
It's the butterfly as well. That's the everybody watching the Olympics saw Michael Phelps win all those races and kind of he's the king of butterfly. And that's kind of like the hardest in a way because you have to do a lot of undulation underwater, meaning you're like a dolphin. Imagine you're a dolphin or a mermaid and you're undulating. It's called undulation. So you move your hips and you go up and down in the water like that, and then you add the arms. It's the same movement as you do in a freestyle that I showed earlier, but both arms do it in the same time, okay? So you start from here, you pull underwater, both arms come out, and you get them forward.
Okay, can he do it?
Sure. No? Okay. Yeah, show just some undulation first. Let's show some just undulation with a kick. You see, his hips are moving, legs, he keeps them together, and it just undulates really good. That's what you learned first. And you practice that because that's the movement you're gonna be doing, okay? And after that, you're gonna add the arms and do the arms as well, both arms doing it in the same time. And you try to keep your arms a little more straight than he does. Try to keep your arms a little more straight as you bring them forward, okay? But very good undulation. The key is the undulation, really, as you do it, okay? And then usually you breathe every 2 arms as you do it, okay?
Okay, so you've shown us 4 different types of strokes. When would you use each type of stroke, or is whatever you're more comfortable with? How does that work?
Well, it's a personal choice, really. I like, a lot of, usually people like more the breaststroke, like the frog that I was telling you earlier. We didn't have a chance to show that yet, but it's a lot more comfortable. Some people call it, in some instances, like the grandma stroke, because kind of grandma keeps her head out of the water and kind of swims nice and easy. It's the most complex set of strokes when it comes technique-wise because you have to turn your feet out a little more like a frog leg as you're kicking, but the arms are easy. You see how he's kind of getting his arms. The legs, he kind of goes a little far with his arms, but idea is as you're pulling, keep your hands a little more in front of you, okay? You're going a little too far. But that's more, for some people, that's a lot more relaxed because some don't even put their faces in the water. So it's more of kind of like they feel more in control, closer to the doggy paddle that everybody loves to do. So that's more of a relaxing stroke a little bit. So some don't like freestyle because it's face in the water. It's really one of those, it's a personal preference.
2 questions for you. You mentioned doggy paddle.
Yes.
I got to see that.
But that's not a stroke.
Okay, but how about treading water?
Well, treading water is obviously a good skill to know. There's many different ways of doing it. Some people like to do like the egg beater. Some like to kind of get the really kind of get the almost like the water polo.
Again, I have to see. An egg beater?
Well, there are different ways. This is too shallow for me to show, but the idea is you're either kicking with your legs straight like this, or you do like one leg here, one leg there. So it's more like it's a water polo kicking that you kind of keep. So if you do it, you kind of do it this way, but again, it's too shallow for me to be able to do it.
Can you do it?
Victor, can you show how to tread water?
Do it underwater.
Tread water. Well, you can like this.
Oh, like keeping afloat.
Yeah, just treading water. So you see he can tread, he can use his arms and legs. That's one way of doing it. It's a great skill to have, again, to kind of keep yourself afloat, but you will get tired. So this is where you kind of do that. If, for example, you fell off the boat or something happens, you see people treading water, but then you get tired. So what do? Again, you get on your back and you float. You catch your breath, right? You catch your breath because, again, you have to try to keep your energy up, right? So keeping afloat and treading water is really, it's not as easy as it sounds because it takes a lot of energy. So the key is to really, again, be as relaxed as you can. Learn to enjoy the water, relax. The more relaxed you are, the better you're gonna do.
And the doggy paddle, when would you do that?
Well, the doggy paddles, pretty much anybody does it. Think about a dog when they do is like just kind of like do this in front of them and just kind of move your arms and legs to kind of get from point A to point B.
Sounds inefficient.
It is, but it's, again, if your child, the little one, is wants to be in the water, the idea is to let them enjoy it. So start with that, because number one idea is comfort. So if they're comfortable in the water, they understand the water, concept of water, breathing out of the water, breathing in the water, blowing bubbles. That's step one. That's the hardest thing. Some kids and even adults are terrified of water. And that's where the hardest thing to kind of get them in the water. And after that, you can teach the rest of the techniques and kind of get them more complex of how they start swimming actually from from one wall to the next.
So you want them to be comfortable in the water, but at the same time respect the water.
Yes, I mean, again, I keep going back to that, but you have to respect your environment, because water can be amazing and it's just you float and enjoy and all that, but it can be terrifying if you don't know what you're doing, because you start swallowing water, you can go underwater, you can get a cramp, and what do? This is where if you're comfortable in the water, you're not gonna panic. You just know, I need to get to the side of the pool and then do my little monkey walk to get to the steps or climb out of the pool. Again, staying calm. But the problems arise in moments that somebody panics, and this is where a lot of other, somebody jumps in to help them and they're gonna pull that person underwater.
Okay, so the big thing you have to be concerned with is, well, I suppose if someone panics in the water. Yeah, if someone does panic in the water, should I jump in and save them, or?
Best thing to do, and this is something that lifeguards talk about, and that's what they're taught, is try to avoid getting in the water to save somebody as much as possible. So what do? We have, obviously, they have the different floating devices. Yeah. We have the rings around the pool that they have to be placed everywhere, right? So you see one over there. We have different sides of the pool. The lifeguard has the red floaty thing that they're actually going to throw out to the person to hold on to that floats, right? If you're at home in your own pool, what you want to do is you really want to you just simply use a towel to reach out, to try to pull them out. As a last resort, you jump in a pool to try to get somebody. But even then, have a floating device that you have the person hang on to, because somebody panicking is going to kind of grab onto you and push you down, and then you bolt around if you don't know what you're doing.
Okay, so I hope you folks got something out of this. What I got out of it was enjoy the pool, have a good time, but respect it, and become comfortable in the pool, in the situation, and remember safety first. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thank you very much. I've learned quite a bit.
And have a great summer. And here in South Florida, it's summer year-round. So we need to be aware there's a lot of water all around us. So the earlier you can teach your kids how to swim and yourself, please do so.
Okay, thank you and enjoy.